Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of the Wiccan Conservative. I hope that you guys had a very lovely and happy Independence Day. Unfortunately, around this time of year, I get sucked into a lot of historical documents and things that are going on concerning this time of year, so I apologize for my mini vacation. But of course, when I get back onto the grind, I wake up in the morning to articles like this, and I'm reminded again that our nation still has some bumps in the road. On your screen is an article that is entitled Lindsey Graham Sought a quote more favorable outcome for Trump Georgia subpoena. This is coming out of Fulton County, Georgia. The district attorney has decided that she is going to subpoena Lindsey Graham among a number of Donald Trump's inner circle who will be expected to testify at a grand jury as part of a criminal investigation into the alleged interference around the 2020 election. Now, this is super interesting for all of you people who have been following the 2020 election audits, the results, the process. As you guys know, I am a poll worker here in Georgia for my county. I am extremely familiar with Dominion machines, the system, the process. I've gone to multiple training classes and taken part in all of this. So I am extremely tuned in to exactly what this alleged interference could possibly be concerning the Donald Trump phone call to Brad Raffensperger. If you guys did not know, Brad Raffensperger also won the nomination for the general election that will happen this November for the Republican Party. Do not ask me how that happened. There is a possibility that people were party jumping. This isn't just a Republicans vote. There are many different scenarios that could explain how Brad has reacquired the nomination, even with all the indiscrepancies that were happening here in Georgia. If we scroll down through this article, the South Carolina Republican was issued a subpoena along with several members of Trump's legal team, including Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and Jenna Ellis, over his November 2020 phone calls with the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. The subpoena is investigating whether Graham questioning the validity of some absentee ballots in Georgia was an attempt to explore the possibility of a more favorable outcome for Trump. Now, of course, you guys all remember that there was a lot of issues in Fulton County, and this is not anything that is new to Fulton County. The next article up on your screen is a Yahoo News article, and this one is actually from, I believe, June of 2021. There was a Georgia election observer who detailed the Fulton County 2020 election as a sloppily handed voting process. But Carter Jones, who was hired as an independent observer to watch the county's election after a June primary plagued with issues, insisted that he did not find any evidence of fraud. He went on to say that there was a lack of poll pads, lack of voting technology used to check in voters when they arrived at polling places. This is not anything new for this particular county. At one point, someone took the wrong suitcase of poll pads. In one note, Jones wrote that he was particularly concerned about the process exposed voters' personal information, and that is another huge issue. How many people are privy to the type of ballot that you are choosing? How many people are privy to know your name and the way that you are voting in this election by comparing the absentee ballot shells to the actual votes inside those shells? Once those votes were separated in the precinct, because again, this is supposed to be a secret ballot. How then were you able to negate votes as voters came in person and wanted to remove absentee ballots? We're also talking about percentages that didn't add up when you talked about overall poll results. How many people came out to vote? If we look at the average number of voters that turn out to past elections compared to the turnout rates that we had in 2020, it was all very hanky. We didn't understand how we got here and how we could press out so many people. And then you had the issue where states were going against their own laws and making up their own voting rules for the sake of the So once all of that was done illegally and outside of the legislator, the only people that can hold them accountable are the people inside the elections office. And as we saw, that it is no secret that Fulton has had issues in their election department for decades. So if they've had issues for decades, why would these people then come out and rat on themselves and say that we've been doing this for years and this is the only time that anybody's really pressed us or really asked what was going on? And this is actually coming from Brad Raffensperger. He is the one who told Just the News that he supports the county's top election officials, but he insisted on state monitors being present to be the eyes and the ears on the ground. And now, how do we relate this back to what's happening right now? Well, in March in Atlanta, the Voter Georgia announced at a press conference, and this comes from the GeorgiaRecord.com, that a 15-point analysis absolutely and irrefutably decided that they had evidence, hard evidence, that there were some indiscrepancies with the way that Fulton County in particular handled their election cycle. The 15-point analysis that can be verified through public ballot images at georgiaballots.com or at other sites found following the problems in Fulton County. They found that there were 17,724 final certified Fulton votes that had no ballot images. In all, 374,128 in-person ballot images for the original count, those are missing. 132,284 mail-in ballots images are missing their authentication files. 4,000 plus tabulator images have impossible duplicate timestamps. 104,994 image files in 1,096 batches have impossible duplicate timestamps. It goes down all 15 points of the violations. These are hard code violations. We're talking about things that should be documented in writing, time-stamped, and followed through during the course of the election day. These are things that are signed off on by poll workers under penalty of law. As a poll worker, you are held to a higher standard when you are accessing and tabulating these votes, and you are supposed to be handling them with the utmost integrity. These are actual law criminal violations. These things have nothing to do with a potential phone call asking questions of the Secretary of State, who should be overseeing the entire state process anyways. We are simply asking, why are these people who are known to handle these ballots incorrectly and not be held responsible for their positions and their jobs to act in an integral fashion for the people that they are representing, whether they are Republicans, Independents, Democrats, Tea Party, it doesn't matter. When I walk into that election site, I am a non-partisan partisan individual, and I must act as though every person who comes into that location is eligible to vote and has the right to a private ballot. The picture that I have up on your screen right now is of Fanni T. Willis. And if you haven't heard of her yet, then you will be hearing of her soon. She is the district attorney for Fulton County. She is the one who is going to be sending out these subpoenas and conducting this quote unquote mass investigation. Now, I did a little bit of research on Fanni before I sat down to do this video, and though I could not come up with a source that I enjoyed to share with you, there was a rumor on the interwebs that this woman is either engaged to, married to, or is dating a former employee for CNN who is now working in some part of the lower criminal justice system in Fulton County. Again, this is just a rumor that happened to show up on a couple different websites, but it definitely got my wheels turning concerning how close she now is to Brad Raffensperger as well, because Brad has signed on 100% to this overall investigation. Everything is clicking against Trump. The January 6th committee cannot put any hard criminal charges against him, so they have to reach deep into the states and find somewhere where they can make criminal charges stick. That way he cannot run for office in 2024. This is what this is all boiling down to. It is looking a little bit further into the future, and I know that this is absolutely not going to play well for the blue collar workers here in Georgia, because this just shows that they are not going to take them into consideration when they make their policies, when they make their procedures. And again, I say this all the time, you guys really need to get involved in at the county level. Go sign up to be a poll worker, go sign up to get involved in the process, work at your board of elections, be familiar with the process, know what to look for when you walk into a voting location, and keep your head on a swivel, because if you see something, you need to be able to say something. That's all I have for you guys today. Oh, one reminder before I go, I will be appearing on Brigantia Blackbird's channel. She will be doing a live recording tonight with me and a few members of the Discord channel, and she will have that video processed and posted sometime this week. So make sure that you go over there and check out Brigantia Blackbird's channel on Blackbird's Brew. And until the next time, I will see you later.